Hello and welcome to the Awakening Spiritual Gifts broadcast. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late today. I had to restart my computer just to get things working again, and I think it had an update and it was just sticking and loading. So apologize for being a couple minutes past 11. Thank you for being here. And of course, go ahead and drop your questions, comments, whatever you have today below, and we'll see what we can get to and see how we can help each other. So let me know there. And then also, I did not look at the energy of the day ahead of time. So we're going to do a little bit of that right off the bat today and see what's going on the energy. Might have to draw it too, because I feel there's just a lot of stuff going on these days. You guys feel it? It's like every day it feels like tons of things just keep happening. It's like 2 days go by and it's just really, it's like that hastening or the quickening kind of energy where things are just going faster, where it's almost like time is speeding up. I think I saw an article a couple months ago that even talked about how some of the science is kind of showing that maybe like even the time that we thought it used to be is moving a little bit faster now. And I'm like, I sure as heck I'm feeling it. All right. So let's look. Let's see. Yes, I love the comments rolling in. Yeah, that's like Chris. I agree. It's like every morning when you wake up, whoa, what just happened? I was asleep for 8 hours, and you got to like readjust every day, and it's so much momentum, and then it's like releasing quickly. Oh, you got a problem. You got some things that have shifted up to the surface. Okay, and bring it to the surface and move on quickly. And it's a lot. And Nicole, yeah, it's true. Okay, well then I'm so glad that you're here too. The energy does feel incredibly strong. And feeling emotional. Yeah, I don't know. Let's dive right in. Let's look a little bit more in depth on what's going on with the energy around us. And I do have to draw this one. So hold on just 1 second. Woo. There's like all of a sudden it was just like this breathing, like, whoa, hang on here. Here's a big, see if you can like keep up with your breath. All right. So, and for everyone watching live, it's always helpful too. Like sometimes if you just like, even just everyone just kind of take a deep breath, like with this fast energy, I can just only imagine what it's doing to our subconscious with even just like our adrenals and just feeling like we're going to go, go, go. The time is now, like rush, like all of that. So make sure you take some deep breaths for me. Okay, let's see here. Oh, and I'd be really curious to know what like planetary. I haven't checked planetary symbolism lately, but okay. So what I'm seeing in the air right now and what's going on is it's like some of that movement energy, but then it's like coming in and then it has kind of a slicing energy at the end. It's like, and here we go and cut, and here we go and cut, and here we go and cut. And so it's just, it does match kind of that moving forward really fast. The cutting motion with that energy is, it's coming in like a pattern. And so it's also just like 1 foot in front of the other, almost like a train track or something, but it has this motion. It's like, so it's keeping some progression. And it's also reminding us to, like there's not a lot of time to grieve or to hold on or to hang on to what's happened in the past because of how quickly things are moving into the future. So if you find yourself like, oh, that was really hard, I just want to like process and grieve that. It's like, well, the next one's coming anyway. And so it might feel a little extra intense. Like, oh, no wonder why it's like a breathing, like you got to take a breath. Like, oh, it just is coming and coming. And then I'm just like kind of looking at how people are responding, what's going on with that. I see heart yearning, so a lot of heart energy, like pleading and getting answers. I'm also seeing it's creating kind of a feeling of perhaps irritability or impatience in people, because it's just like, we just want this done now. We just want it going and forward momentum. Or even irritation towards yourself if it's something isn't going or going as fast or as you want. So be really curious how you guys are feeling some of that, if that resonated. And then let's just dive in. I love having you guys live. So let's just dive into some of you guys who are here live. So I think I've pretty much caught up on some of the messages that were sent to me. There was one that was sent that I'm like, it was really long. So I gotta go look at that a little bit more. Okay, let's look at some of these live ones here. Bonnie Lee, welcome. We're gonna start off with you, my dear. Let's see, can you housing market question. I want to buy a house. Like it was on, I'm like on like I've had it in my mind to buy a house soon, and I'm looking at the market going, what is going on? I don't even know right now. So kudos for venturing. Let's see here. Can you look at the energy with the sale of my house for the highest possible price at the best possible time? Great question. And I love that, because it's like, we know, I mean, and obviously too, like anytime we're checking in future timeline energy, that can always change based on choices and everything, but we can still look at the energy of it, like as of right now. Okay, so let's see. And please, like, take whatever I say and do your own check on it. Pray about it. Like, just double check it, because I am, this is another reason why I don't usually go into timing stuff too, is because it changes, and it's, and then if something changes and you don't have your own discernment there, and you're just only holding by something that I said or something, then you may miss an opportunity. So that's why I say it's super important to get your own personal revelation on this and to confirm that this is indeed. But okay, so let's look here again. Okay, so the highest possible price. So when I'm looking at the energy of that, I'm seeing, like, to make sure that check your emotions, and just as much as possible, like with everyone in the home, to feel like you're worthy and deserving of receiving as much as possible, like as much goodness as possible, as whatever the highest amount can be, that you just feel like, yes, I'm worthy of receiving all of that. Okay. So if there's some kind of like, oh, I'd like this, but, I'll settle for this amount, then you'll probably attract that level. So emotionally, make sure that you're open to receiving and you feel worthy and deserving of the highest possible. And then also with that, it feels like there's been, like, I don't know if you've gotten offers on this yet or when you're going to do it, but it does seem like there's a little bit of a timing, almost like a little bit of an energy buildup before you get the best possible. So let's see here with, yeah, if you're on, let me know. I'm going to check the bottom of the comments to see. Move forward just can't happen fast enough. Okay, so you haven't put it on yet. Okay, so what I would suggest, if you have not done it, I mean, you could totally, I would say, get it on the market, and then it feels like building up a little bit of, what is the word? Words are so hard sometimes with energy. Like anticipation. That's the word I was looking for. A little bit of anticipation in the buyers. Like there's just something like, oh, I'm getting hungry for it. I really want this one. And then it can peak more at the highest possible. So what this could possibly look like is you do get some offers, and then you just take it and you pray, you take it to the Lord, see is this the right one? And and then maybe it's not, and then also see, okay, is this the right one? Now that could lead to the highest possible one, but there's also another element here that for some reason I feel like mentioning, and that is because if there's something that if there is someone that may not pay you the absolute highest price, but it's a way that you can connect and serve, there may be a little bit of maybe it's not the highest one, but maybe there's a seller that's going to love your house and really value it, and perhaps you would get paid in other ways, right? Because money is just another form of exchange. So it feels like there could be another type of exchange there. So anyway, something to consider. But again, that would be something that you would get an offer and you take it in prayer and use your discernment and see. That was kind of a fun one. We've not done that type of things. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I spent a little bit more time on it, but I think that's because it's so fun. All right. And let me know, Bonnie Lee, how that fits. I'm excited to hear the journey of your house. So, okay, let's look. Okay, going through these here. Okay, Vicki, I'm going to go to you. I think that this is a little bit of a personal, I'd like to also look at your energy today too. So I'm so emotional. Any insight as to why? So there's definitely some of the collective stuff going on, but I'm also feeling like there's a little bit of some personal insight that could help you process it or work through it a little bit easier. So the places I'm seeing this are the heart, and it's like it's coming up. It feels like maybe there was something hard that you went through that you maybe not have fully looked at it in the past yet. And it also has a bit of a shaky trauma type pattern energy to it. And I'm seeing it almost out into your mouth and stuff. So it's like, I don't know how to talk about this, or this is really hard for me. And you just haven't been able to process it and to get it out. It doesn't feel like super brand new recent. It feels like it's just been something more in the past. Maybe something within the last year, or even within the last 6 months, that you're like, okay, I'm doing pretty good with this, but there's still a little bit of the shaky trauma energy, which you could just maybe verbalize. Maybe you could like do a little bit of, if it's regarding a person, maybe you could do kind of like imagining and speaking to their spirit, like having a conversation with them, so that you don't feel limited by having a conversation face to face. You could just have this conversation, imagining that they're standing next to you and you're having this conversation, but yet this way you can have it totally filtered and just whatever you've got to say. And then you can maybe go through those like Ho'oponopono steps of just like the, hey, well, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you steps. And you just go through and tell them all the things. Yeah, I'm trying to see what else. There's just a little bit of that shaky trauma through your voice. So I would recommend doing that. Also, too, to make sure that you're doing some self-care, taking that time to journal, reflect. And I'm not just saying like, oh, let me just lay here and watch like a bunch of Netflix things. Like, can you do intentional self-care? How can I self-care for my emotions? How can I get them out? How can I process them? How can I let myself feel love and grace and compassion and self-forgiveness and whatever else that it could be there. So I hope that helps. Please let me know how that resonates for you. And sending love. That was a lot. It's a lot you got. Especially, trauma energy is really an interesting thing because it can just get stuck in your system and in your body, and it just like reverb, like bzzz. And it is naturally kind of a shaky one anyway. Okay, let's go to let's see, we're going to do, got a few people here. Hold on, we got a little troll we're gonna block. Thanks, but no thanks. Okay, so let's go to you, Nicole. Oh, Nicole. All of a sudden I just started getting glimpses. Yeah, I feel like you're right now, you're getting like a big laser beam of information coming into your head and out of you. Like, whoa, here's something that I've got to do. But it's like a lot coming in back here, but then not all of it is coming out into the eyes and what's being visible and seen. So I gotta say, like, you've got to be feeling that energy pretty strong, just because of how much it is. And like you even mentioned, I have a lot on my mind. I'm looking for direction. I bet you have a lot on your mind because there's a lot coming in there. It does feel like instructional energy. It does have kind of the coloring that I described is kind of the God strand. Like, this is some personal revelation. You're getting kind of told or asked to do certain things. It does feel very more like life purpose oriented with this energy. And it also feels a little intense, that it might be intimidating, or it might feel like, whoa, if I let all of this out and everything I'm thinking and feeling, then and I do feel like it would be to come out of your mouth. And if I'm going to say all of the intensity that's inside of me, it feels like, ooh, I might burn some people, because that's a lot coming through. So, so just to kind of at least acknowledge and validate all of that for you. Some of the direction. Okay, it doesn't look like it's necessarily time to do all of that's coming in for you, but in a way, if you could just start capturing it, and something about your mouth. So where are you speaking or expressing things? Is there a place for you to do this? Is it a writing? Do you have people that you're helping to teach or to speak to, or even friends like that have conversations, like journaling, writing, creating content? Like, what is there that you can do that, even though this energy is not necessarily timing to go out and spread far and wide yet, but it is definitely coming in. So how can you capture it to make sense of it too? Like, because once you make sense of it and you start flowing in some of that, you'll get some of the direction. And it will feel less intense because you're going to have that release valve of expression. So let me know on that. Be really curious, Nicole. That's some cool energy coming in. I'm glad we know each other, because I love to watch this. This is transformation energy. Not just transformation. This is like, I'm about to. So kind of fun to see. All right, let's do. Let's see here. I'm just trying to go through the things. Okay, and sorry, just back to Nicole just for a minute. Oh, Nicole right here. I often draw a journal. Okay, so that, and often difficult times using my hands. That is because I just see it out of your mouth. Where can you speak? Like, where can you speak? You know, I love having you in the intuition gym as one of our members. You are welcome to share any thoughts or insights or things there. You could totally use that as a place to verbalize, to express. You're welcome to. Okay, and let's see here. Okay, let's go to. Sorry, sometimes these comments are just disappearing. Okay, timeline. Okay, let's go to. So, Carissa, let's go to you really fast, my dear. Would you look at a timeline of what you see me doing to serve and to help people? I've envisioned doing hands-on intuitive healing, but question if I have enough natural ability to pursue something in that area. Interesting enough, you don't have to have a lot of natural ability. It can also be just a skill you learn. That's one of the myths about it. Like, oh, you're just an only healer. But the question might be is how is like the best way to fit with you to, like, there's so many different methods and modalities and things for you to do, and then how can you learn it? And truly, part of learning it, one of the first steps is just to have the confidence to do so. And I remember for years I would just look at all these other people going, oh, look at what they can do. I wish I could do that, but I just couldn't. And I would even try and I couldn't do it. And I couldn't do it. And I'd get frustrated. And, I can't, like, I'm not doing this and I can't do this. And I remember one time there was actually something that like I was learning how to do. And if you just let yourself play and release the whole should look a certain way or whatever, or comparing yourself to other people. But if you just give yourself permission to play, then you can, it opens it up way better. That's totally what I did. I was like, I can't fail. I'm just going to play. And it helped a ton. And so I would say if you've envisioned doing hands-on intuitive healing, who are you working on? Are there some loved ones or some friends and some people that would be willing for you to use your intuition and to do intuitive hands-on healing? Do you have some knowledge, like some books or some courses, some things that you've taken that you can, develop it a little bit farther? If you want, I mean, like I can totally recommend some fun ones to start with if you want. But like more than anything, I would say get started, start playing, see what comes up. And lots of timeline possibilities on this. Lots of them. I mean, a timeline always have lots of possibilities, but it's like what I just shared with you right now is going to bring that to you closer, like sooner. But it's like taking that leap into a dark path. It's like, I don't know where this is going to lead, but it's going to be fun. Like, let yourself have fun and play and experiment. That brings it a lot closer to you faster. If you do it the path that you're on, I can see maybe you're looking for a structure of what that looks like, or someone or something to like give you like, okay, you have been trained in this, you're good, and now you can go. So if you stay on that same path, I see you kind of seeking out some of that. But then it might delay the intuitive side of it, just because you have a very active mind. I can see you have great skills in learning things. But if there's someone there that starts telling you a little too much of like, you got to do it this way. Nope, don't do it this way. Like like a lot of rigid stuff, it might actually mess up too much of your natural intuition on that skill. So I would love to hear more about that, my dear. Let me know. Maybe give some feedback on that. So that's fun. I love that stuff. That's like following your heart and seeing where to go with that. Okay, so we are like on fire today with some trolls. I've had to block a couple already. What is with that? Okay, let's go to let's see here. Oh, okay, cool. Let's go to this. Dreams. I love dreams. Especially what they bring up. Dreams and like personality types, and even understanding like, I don't know, some of that stuff. That's like some of the first stuff I ever got into like 30 years ago. So that's pretty cool. All right. So last week I had a dream about the death of loved ones, and I have been feeling such a grief since. Can you look at the energy, or can you give me your insight? Yeah, let's look at that here. I would start, are there some questions that you can ask in your waking life? Like perhaps, are there people in your life that you are feeling drawn to not let go of them in some way? Whether this is like, okay, this is something that's supposed to, doesn't feel like an ending. It feels more just like a releasing. Perhaps you're being taught right now about the importance of surrender, that whole surrendering and letting go of loved ones. So oftentimes when we care about people, and we, especially like spouse, children, like when we care about people, sometimes we want to help them to avoid all these pains, and we just like worry about their welfare and their like how they're doing, and we want to help and save them and make things better for them. And sometimes the best thing and the best way to serve them is to actually just let go of them and to let them experience their own life, experience the consequences of their own choices, and you just love them through it. Okay, so I'm almost feeling like there's like an evolution that you're going through, where it is in a way surrendering your loved ones. It is letting them go a bit. There is a grief process with that. Like, I'm just going to let them go. And it feels, at first, when you go through that letting go, it can feel scary and feel like that you're going through something of, well, if I let go of them, then maybe I'm not going to have to care about them anymore. And it's like, well, I care about them. I don't want to like let them go. And it feels like you're almost developing like a cold heart, or you'd have to let them go in that way. But it's not a matter of letting them go in that sense. It's more just about having that objectivity and higher levels of trust and faith and timing, and just knowing that all is well, even when somebody is going through something hard. And letting them go. Yeah, it just feels like it's like an invitation for you to drop those attachments and those worries and those unhealthy cords or attachments that could make you feel pulled down. I also feel like it's something about you coming to that higher elevated place is going to be, you're going to be able to invite others to that new place with you. So in a way, you are serving your loved ones by going through this and then inviting them to join you in that space. So let me know how that kind of fits and helps you right now. And grief is a powerful teacher. Grief is super, super powerful to teach. So it is a tricky one to navigate at times, but it's one of the best ones if you can honor it. So good questions. Okay, let's see here. Rosie, let's go to you, my dear. Overall health read. Let's go to health. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see what's going on in health. I'm really seeing just a lot of activity going on in this region, like with your chest, like your lungs, your chest, and your throat, and your neck. A lot of breathing. There's some breathing things going on. And just in that region, there's just a lot of things that are going on. I can also see that in a way, it's creating some anxiousness. Perhaps it could even be influencing the heart, like heart palpitations, feeling like you can't get a deep breath, feeling like you're under attack. That can also affect like the thyroid, like that whole area. And then also too, feeling under attack, it could be also attacking like your immune system. And maybe there's even some kind of an immune thing going on. Like, I don't want to say immune disease, but something with that kind of immune, because it's feeling this constant state of attack. And so one of the first things, and also headaches. It's like creating some headache things going up in there. So I would definitely just take a moment and just really making sure that you're taking that time to breathe. And even to talk yourself through, like maybe every single day, there's something that you can do where you just maybe go sit outside in nature and feel the breeze and take some deep breaths and make it feel like you're not under attack. Like the world is not out to get you. Your body's not out to get you. Like, let's start weeding through all of the thoughts and things that are making you feel like that you could be under attack. And then your body will respond and stop reacting like it's under attack, right? Because that could be candida, it could be immune stuff, it could be like so many things, weight gain. Like anytime you're feeling like you need to protect yourself or you're under attack, it can cause some problems there. So I'd start looking at that. And then see if your body can start settling down instead of having, it's like I'm seeing some like alarms going off, like alert, alert. So anyway, let me know on that, Rosie. Okay, I love it. Tata, I love that name. So fun. And I know you spelled my name wrong. There, thank you. It's okay. Okay, you've helped me before. I'm so happy that I've been able to help before. It's been spot on, I assume. It's spot on. I was wondering if you could do a general reading for me this morning. So, yep, let's see what we can do. General reading. Okay, right now it's like I'm actually seeing that you're getting maybe some very feels like very like kind of the small and still voice. Like you're getting some light promptings or like maybe you're looking for direction and on something in your mind. You're asking questions, trying to figure something out, or even just like receiving this divine instruction. But it feels like a very still, small voice. And so by the time it's trying to come out into your consciousness of like, oh, this is what I see, this is what I'm going to do, and it's right here and like in the front of your eyes, feels like there's a bit of a disconnect there because it's so easy to dismiss. Right? Like if you're getting these little voices and little promptings, super easy to dismiss. And so for you, I would definitely make sure you get some quiet time, some quiet journaling time. Take questions. One of my favorite things to do is like I will pray and I'll ask questions. And then sometimes I'll sit there with my pen and paper and just start writing down any impressions, any promptings I get, any random thoughts. I'll just start like capturing whatever is coming. When you ask questions, your subconscious is like, it has to answer. So if you just start listening to the answers, also, if you can't find the words for it, what can you do with the right brain? Is there something you could draw or color, right? We got left and right brain. So if the words aren't coming, then what can you do for some kind of creative outlet that might give you an impression on what it is that you're hearing? But it definitely feels like you're getting some of that divine energy coming in very quietly, very lovingly to give you some instruction. So let me know on that. That was a cool one. And I dare say, like, there's a lot of us that we can relate to that. Um, I mean, like sometimes like to pull out the actual details and words with what we're receiving and impressions, like that's something for many of us. So thank you for asking that question. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to. Okay, Natalie, I'm going to go here to see what I can. It feels like there's just a. Okay, honestly, it feels like there's a lot of stuff that you're figuring out on your own. So it kind of feels like, Martina, don't do too much because I might get in your way. That's kind of funny. It keeps coming in. I just keep feeling like, Natalie, you're doing a great job. You're doing better than you realize. Keep going. I'm seeing you journaling or drawing something. I'm seeing your eyes focused on something that you are figuring out or doing. And it feels like there's answers for you there. Like that's like you're already doing something or you've got something that you're figuring out. Natalie, like keep on that path. It's right there for you. And it feels like you're actually it feels and like being in flow doesn't necessarily mean everything comes easily and fun. Sometimes flow is like that ebb and the flow, but I see you in some flow right now, which is really cool. So hang on there. Keep going. Keep going. Whatever you're doing right now is awesome. Okay, let's see if I can get to another one. Okay, going through here. Let's go to Ed. Hi, Ed. Good to have you here. I have a big dream. There are, as with all people, lots of distraction. Is the big dream only that, or is it a direction to head while fighting through distractions? Okay, so I'm going to look at the energy of that for you. But again, just to also just kind of like, I feel like the way that you even ask that question, that your subconscious and your spirit, your intuition has been picking up information about that. So I would definitely lean into your own impressions and trust it, because there's something there. Like as I'm reading that, I'm like, you phrase that in a way that you've had thoughts and impressions before. So capture them, and then you can look at that. And then let me just I'm just going to kind of look at, let's see here. So interesting. So energetically, when I look at like the big dream down the road, like when I'm looking at the big piece, I'm seeing like these little ones as you're describing distractions. Like some may be like, oh, I didn't need to do that. Like you could dismiss those. But I'm seeing that there's actually some value in some of the things that you may deem as a distraction. What I'm seeing is it's like you travel off to the side here, and then you're like, okay, now I'm continuing towards the big dream. But I see like a gold strand of energy that came with you. So instead of just saying like it was a waste of time or maybe just a distraction, perhaps it would be helpful to start identifying, what did you learn? What tool did you gain while taking that distraction? Was there something that you picked up, a piece that you got, like a little thing to add to your tool belt, or like your bag, like you're collecting little things on some of these distractions that are actually part of the bigger picture because of what you learned. And to remember that it's not about the end of the result. It's not about the end of the journey. It's actually the journey is what matters most. And so if you're learning, developing, growing, being, and becoming more, then you're doing the purpose. So to just kind of keep on, and then obviously use your own discernment on, like, okay, was that a distraction that had value and I actually gained something, or was that something that I truly could have just released and not done? So thank you for asking that question, Ed. I feel like there's a lot of people that do have that come up for them. So let me know on that. I've got to go get my son right now, but Trisha, you are new here. I just want to give you a shout out and see if I can give you something real quick on that. I'm welcome. I'm so grateful you're here. And you would like some help with your health. So Trisha, let's just quickly look at the health. Yeah, okay. So first, I'm just picking up some of the emotions around the body. It feels like you've just been kind of beat up a bit. Like you've had a lot of things kind of pressing down on you. You're feeling weary. You're just feeling worn. You just keep going, and things just keep pushing you down. And your body is feeling it. I feel like I want to cry with you, because it does feel like a lot, and it feels like, well, how am I going to stand up and get going and keep going when my body is now collapsing underneath the pressure? So one of the first things that just comes up is to really start analyzing the relationship that you have with your body, and the type of friendship and the relationship you have there. It's your best friend. It's your best friend. It's like the one you can count on to get you through this world. Like you couldn't do this existence without that body. And so if you could start to love it and develop that relationship, and then to learn to listen to how you can support your best friend. Like think about someone you care about deeply and you love them a lot. What do? You're like, how can I help you? And then you want to help. So do the same thing for your body. Oh my gosh, I love you. What kind of support? And this is a great reminder for all of us. Heck, I'm listening to the words going, oh yeah, I got to do this with my own body. But like asking your body every morning, like, how can I support you today? What kind of things could you use, and then to make sure, like the self-care, I call it the soul food, like things that make your soul sing. Like what is going to nourish and feed your soul? I'll tell you what, like singing and dancing in my kitchen fulfills part of my soul food. Like I love just the expression, the freedom of movement. And so I do that regularly. It could be reading books. It could be taking some quiet alone time. Like it doesn't have to just only look like taking a bubble bath, right? It can, or a nap. Like it can look like anything. So listen to that self-care. And then also I just feel really strongly to just kind of remind you to give yourself lots of grace and compassion. I know I've shared this analogy before, but one of the images that I received that taught me a great lesson was that I was getting really frustrated because I wanted to do and be more than what I was currently experiencing. And I just felt like I had the Lord kind of show me this visual of a battlefield. And there's a bunch of soldiers, and we're all trying to run. We're getting shot at, and we're trying to make it to the edge of a border to get into the land of safety, like on the other side. And so there's soldiers that are running, and they may be bloodied and have dirty faces and bruises, and they're running, but they're running. And then I had this image of me where I had some of my legs shot out, and I was still going, but I was having to crawl on my arms at that moment. And I was comparing myself at that moment to expecting, you should be running, Martina. You should be running right now. You should be going hard and fast. And it was like, no, you shouldn't. Like, don't judge yourself. Sometimes it looks slower. It's a slower pace. It's a more self-care. This is when I was also healing from a lot of like my thyroid. I was healing my thyroid, adrenals. And I'm telling you, if I had to nap twice a day, I napped twice a day. And I didn't judge it, and I loved it and loved my body. And I did. I had to nap twice a day for quite a while. It was like late morning and afternoon nap. So I feel like there's something there, and that's a great reminder for all of us to take care of the vessel that we have been given. It is truly our best friend and our partner on this earth, and to just love it, to love it, and to listen and to do the things to support what it's asking us to do. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. It was just my pleasure to be here and to serve, and I hope that it was able to help you guys, or at least give you a little clue or an insight that on your journey as you're experiencing your own personal revelation and discernment, you're able to kind of just take some of these little nuggets and get some of your own answers on that. And then please, if you found value, please help us to share this message and share it with others that may be looking for some answers and for help and assistance too. So please share it in a group, on your wall, in a message. You could tag people, however that looks for you. We'd really appreciate it. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.